population of America has increased 2%, and our spending has increased 55%. Under President Biden, I wish him well. If we had discovered life on Mars, he would have sent it money. Is that sustainable?
Senator, it's totally unsustainable, and the problem is that you go on these trajectories that we are currently on, and you don't know when you're going to get to the point of which you have some major problems as an economy and as a country, and we know that historically.
I hope you'll start with the low-hanging fruit. There's a lot. When we sent out stimulus checks to save our economy, $1.6 billion went to dead people. And the checks were cashed. Obviously fraud. OMB has estimated that in fiscal year 2023, we sent out $1.3 billion of checks to dead people, which were cashed. Obviously fraud.
Hello, Patriots. Today, we're exposing one of the greatest threats to America's integrity and how we can fight back against the rampant fraud that's draining your hard-earned tax dollars. That's right, we're diving into the shocking revelations from Senator Kennedy's fiery exchange with Russell Vought, President Trump's former OMB director, about the $1.6 billion in stimulus checks sent to dead people. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, folks. If you care about protecting America's future and holding our government accountable, you'll want to stay tuned until the very end. Trust me, this is information they don't want you to know. Before we dive in, if you believe in defending traditional American values, make sure you subscribe to Conservative Mandate right now. Smash that like button and hit the bell so you never miss a video exposing corruption and standing up for truth. Drop a comment below to let us know what you think about this absurd waste of taxpayer money, and share this video with every patriot you know. Together, we can wake up this country. Now let's get right into it. Senator John Kennedy, a true patriot and champion for fiscal responsibility, grilled Russell Vought about the insanity of our federal spending. Did you know that since 2019, while the population of America has only grown by 2%, federal spending has skyrocketed by a staggering 55% under President Biden? Folks, if we had discovered life on Mars, Biden would have sent them a stimulus check. This is unsustainable, it's reckless, and it's driving us straight toward fiscal ruin. Even worse, $1.6 billion of your tax dollars went to dead people during the stimulus check payouts. Yes, you heard that right. The government is so bloated and inefficient that it's literally paying people who no longer exist. And guess what? The fraud didn't stop there. In fiscal year 2023 alone, another $1.3 billion in checks went to the deceased. This is a slap in the face to every hardworking American struggling to make ends meet. Here's
Senator
the kick.
Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Vought, welcome.
Thank you, Senator.
In my judgment, I do not know a single person in Washington or outside Washington who knows more about the federal budget than you do. I used to read your suggestions during President Trump's first term, many of which Congress ignored. We shouldn't have. I am delighted that the president picked you. I have read that since 2019, the population of America has increased 2%, and our spending has increased 55%. Under President Biden, I wish him well. If we had discovered life on Mars, he would have sent it money. Is that sustainable?
Senator, it's totally unsustainable, and the problem is that you go on these trajectories that we are currently on, and you don't know when you're going to get to the point of which you have some major problems as an economy and as a country, and we know that historically.
I hope you'll start with the low-hanging fruit. There's a lot. When we sent out stimulus checks to save our economy, $1.6 billion went to dead people. And the checks were cashed, obviously fraud. OMB has estimated that in fiscal year 2023, we sent out $1.3 billion of checks to dead people, which were cashed, obviously fraud. When you die in America, your name is sent to the Social Security Administration. As you know, you become part of the master death file. Senator Carper and I discovered that Social Security would not share that information with any other department of government. So we passed a bill saying you have to share it with Treasury and other people who write checks, so we'll stop paying dead people. Duh. We got pushback, believe it or not, on the bill. We had to agree to a trial period, and that trial period ends in 2026. Will you help us make that program permanent so we can stop paying dead people?
Yes, Senator.
Now, you served in Washington for years. You're going to be challenging the status quo. You're going to be called crazy. Many people also called Noah crazy. And then the rains came. And all the fact checkers died. You have to persevere. Now, I'm not asking you to get ahead of President Trump. But if you were king for a day, tell me how you would save money in the federal budget without impacting the American people.
Thank you, Senator. I think it's the strategy that we had in the first term, which is to go really and take a very close look at the agencies that are spending and wasting money, and I believe weaponized at times against the American people. When they put a 77-year-old Navy veteran in jail, Joe Robertson, for 18 months for building 4 ponds on his ranch to be prepared for wildfires, that's the EPA. I think we have to look at that, and we have to look at the agencies that Congress has a vote on every single year through the appropriations process. And then I think we need to go after the mandatory programs that Senator Cornyn mentioned that are keeping people out of the workforce because they have become not just a social safety net, but they have become a benefit hammock, and increasingly so in the aftermath of COVID, as many of these policies were impacting people's decisions to go back into the workforce. And I believe, and because we produced budgets along these lines, you can get sizable levels of savings and reforms that can lead to a balanced budget and get us back headed in a fiscal trajectory, not only that we would all be proud of, but we could say this is going to keep us from fiscal ruin.
My time's expired. Ella Porter, do you have anything you'd like to add? Okay. Now's your shot. Thank you, Mr. Vought, for your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good call there, young lady.
Here's the kicker. The Social Security Administration has a master death file that tracks when people die, but for years, they refuse to share this information with the Treasury Department or any other agency. Why? Because Washington bureaucrats would rather protect their little kingdoms than actually fix the system. Thankfully, Senator Kennedy and Senator Carper passed a bill forcing them to share this data. But even then, they had to fight tooth and nail against pushback from the swamp, and the program is still only in a trial period until 2026. How insane is that? We need to make this program permanent now to stop this fraud once and for all. Russell Vought, a man who knows the federal budget better than anyone, agreed with Kennedy that our spending trajectory is completely unsustainable. He laid out a bold plan to cut the waste, hold corrupt agencies accountable, and reform mandatory programs that have turned into benefit hammocks instead of safety nets. These programs are keeping people out of the workforce and weakening America's backbone. Patriots, we need to get people back to work and restore the dignity of hard work in this great nation. Vought also exposed how some agencies have been weaponized against the American people. He gave the example of a 77-year-old Navy veteran who was thrown in jail by the EPA for building ponds on his ranch to fight wildfires. This is what happens when bloated, unaccountable agencies are left unchecked. It's time to rein them in and put power back where it belongs, with the people. If we follow Vaught's plan, we can balance the budget, cut the waste, and bring America back from the brink of fiscal disaster. But it won't be easy. The left will call us crazy. They'll fight tooth and nail to protect their broken system. But as Senator Kennedy said, when Noah built the ark, the rains came and all the fact-checkers drowned. Patriots, we must persevere. This is a call to action. Subscribe to Conservative Mandate. Share this video far and wide and join the fight to take back our country. Together, we can expose the fraud, hold these bureaucrats accountable, and restore the principles that made America great. Stay strong, stay focused, and God bless America.